Welcome back. So I picked up a new HP OfficeJet Pro 8710 yesterday, and I'm pretty happy with it. I have a few gripes, but otherwise it's not a bad little printer. This actually takes place of two printers, which I know how ridiculous that sounds, but I had two printers on this credenza. One of them was a black and white laser printer, which had just run out of toner. And the other one was an empty, it needed all four cartridges, except for the photo black, Epson XP600 color inkjet printer, which I only used for photos. So I needed to print some stuff out, and I'm like, why don't I just buy one printer that can do it all? So I bought this, it's what you would consider a higher capacity inkjet printer. This is an OfficeJet Pro 8710. It prints, faxes, scans, copies, and also has built-in HP printing apps that are web-based. It also allows me to print from my cell phone through AirPrint. It also supports ePrint. It's a pretty versatile piece of equipment. And let's take a look at some of the specs on it. Now, it cost me $130. The price is reasonable, I think. The cartridges themselves are a little pricey, but like I said, they're slightly higher yield than most consumer models of HP products and lower end products. So it has a print speed rating of 22 pages per minute black and 18 color. First page out, monochrome is 9 seconds. Color is 10 seconds. If you print in draft mode, it can do up to 35 pages per minute, which is crazy fast. It has a resolution of 1200 by 1200 black and 4800 by 1200 color. It is still an HP thermal inkjet, just like the old DeskJet 840C over there. HP has never swayed or never deviated from the thermal printing methods. Epson uses piezoelectric methods for depositing ink, so a bit of a contrast. Now let's take a look at the MTBF here, or the duty cycle. It's rated for up to 25,000 pages a month, which is pretty damn good for 25,000 letter per month. Recommended monthly page volume is 250 to 1,500 pages. So yeah, for an inkjet, that's not too bad. I'm reading this right off HP's spec sheet. Anyway, I'm pretty happy with it. I've printed a couple of full-color photos, and I really can't complain. So let's take a closer look at it. The next model above this one is really fancy. It actually has two paper trays, but I couldn't fit it. I could have had the next model up for just a few dollars more, but it would not have fit in this credenza. It's too tall. This one I can open the flatbed scanner completely. And one of the other reasons I wanted this is I do a lot of copying and scanning of documents. And trying to do it page by page is a pain in the ass. So I always wanted an ADF, or automatic document feeder, to feed multiple pages at once. That way I can take that file cabinet full of sensitive documents and just scan them all and save them either to a thumb drive, or I can send them directly to my computer, which is pretty cool to do. It has I think it's a 250-page sheet feeder, which is about the same as my older monochrome inkjet laser. And this paper tray does expand to support legal size paper by squeezing this lever here. So there's that. It will also accept that. It does not have a bypass tray. It seems like bypass trays have disappeared largely from inkjet models. But it does have this fold-out output tray, which can fit both legal and letter size paper. Oop, gotta make sure you put that down there. The automatic document feeder does have the ability to open up in the event of a paper jam. And where's the this? Yeah, that opens up like that. And I've already jammed it. I tried scanning a stack of photographs. Didn't work so well. Nor did I expect it to. Like all inkjet printers these days, it has a built-in color screen. This is really a low-powered computing device. Well, probably about as powerful as an inexpensive Android tablet. I mean, it's got a lot of features built in. You can copy directly from the screen here, scan to USB. Not sure what copy ID card is for. But one of the interesting features that this sucker has that I'm surprised it has is the ability to fax directly from the unit using a phone line, which is a feature that I don't need. Here's the apps menu here. Take a look at some of those. It has HP Quick Forms. Now this appeared on HP products in the mid-2000s when they started adding color screens and even monochrome screens to their printers. I mean, from here I can print calendars, fax cover pages. It actually has games I can print out. Checklist, graph paper, notebook paper, music paper. Yeah, now those are finally loading. I can print out a calendar for the month. Do March. And what it's doing now is it's communicating to the internet and downloading. This also features ePrint, which is it's been an HP staple for a couple of years now, and I've already set this up. So I can email a document from any device to my printer. Not that I'll be doing that. I want one copy. Just one. Thank you. Now it's downloading calendars off the internet. There we go. Pretty neat. I'm not sure what private print is, but this can also link to my Google Drive. Now this is another feature that I kind of like this, but I can sign into my Google account and print documents right off my Google Drive. So I'm going to do that real quick. I don't think I have anything in there. But this is the latest generation in web-connected printing. It's kind of interesting how that all works. I'll set that up later. Scan to email. Oh, I didn't even know it would do that. I just figured that out. Scan to email. That might be something I need to set up, though. I need to set up an account, I bet. Enter your email on the next screen. A 4-digit access pin will be sent to your email. So I'll play with that later on. But it has a lot of neat features like that. Now, I don't do a lot of printing anymore, so I really just need a printer that can print passable photographs, and it can handle a volume of document printing in the event that it's needed. So I went out and I bought, for $100, I got a set of cartridges, the 952 XL, which is our high capacity black, and normal capacity of all three colors. This is the retail box set, and let's take a look at these cartridges. Now the next model above this one features an LED work light, which illuminates the cartridge bay. But look inside there. I mean, this printer is pretty well built for today's standards. I mean, there's a lot of metal in there. If you look at some of the less expensive models, like the $80 and below printers, there's mostly plastic holding it together, which, you know, on a precision printing appliance, I'm not so sure is good for long-term use. But then again, long-term use in a printer is kind of questionable. So we've got these cartridges that simply pop out like just by pressing on them, which is a little bit better than some of the cartridge locking mechanisms I've seen. This is our black. This is a standard capacity black. Actually, no, these are all starter cartridges. Now, one of the unique features about this printer that I kind of like is that the print head can be removed for either replacement or for cleaning purposes. I'm not sure who's going to be buying a replacement head for their inkjet these days, but it all comes out like that. And take a look at how wide this print head is. It's almost 1.5 inches. One of the reasons modern printers are so fast isn't because they move faster, but it's because they can print more content in one pass than they ever could before. Let's take a look at this DeskJet 840C from 1999-2000. Take a look at this color cartridge here. Look at how wide that cartridge is, or those print heads are. Compare that to what they're doing today. So instead of printing this much at a time, it prints this much at a time. Now, one of the side effects or benefits of that is there's less banding. So if you're printing photographs, you're going to wind up with way less banding in your photos than you ever had before. And that is a benefit that you cannot ignore. Let's take a look inside. See all those contact pads? Now, if I were to replace this, it would cost more than a printer. So obviously, it's not HP's intent to make this a serviceable unit. Obviously, you know, the price of the unit and the cartridges, you pretty much know where they're going with that. So they want you to throw this thing away when it has even the slightest bit of problem. I'm not okay with that. That's something about modern technology that I'm not okay with. You know, we can build some fantastic products. I think this is pretty well made for today's standards. But I'm not okay with the fact that it's a complete throwaway device. And that's exactly what it is. You know, we see it. I'm seeing it right now with this Epson. This Epson has nothing wrong with it. But to refill it with factory ink will cost more than the price of a new unit, which is sad. While I was at Staples, I took a look at some newer models. They actually had an HP page-wide model on the floor, and it was a very large office-grade printer. Retail cost of about $400. Now, the page width was a concept that I had in my mind when I was a kid. When I was about probably 13, 14 years old, I was just kind of thinking about how printers could be improved. And I think at the time I was looking at an old, I had an HP ThinkJet. And it was one that someone had given me, and it was an old-fashioned monochrome ThinkJet, which used a bulb, which could be refilled with ink, and to prime it, you just press on the bulb. And it was a needle printer. But I was thinking about, well, what if they made the print head as wide as the page? You could print a page continuously with less moving parts, and it would eliminate banding completely. And it turns out HP now has that on the market today. But the cartridges on that model, which by the way do not include the print heads, the cartridges and the print heads are separate units, just like this one. One cartridge, either color, is $100. So I think I don't know what the yield is on those cartridges, but I imagine it's probably, you know, about 1,000, maybe 2,000 pages, but that's still a lot of money. It's still crazy. But anyway, let's go ahead and check out some of the features that this unit offers. Let's see. Let's print a photograph. Alright, I've selected a photograph to print. This is actually a photo of my dad and my nephew, or his grandson, at Chili's. Now, this isn't a great photo. It was taken with my iPhone, and even on screen, it looks kind of grainy, so it's not the best of quality. But we're going to take a look at how it prints photographs and how quickly it does, as well as this is one of the only problems I have with this machine, and I'm going to show you what I mean. So I'm going to load some photo paper into it. A couple of things that I found have to deal specifically with printing photographs on glossy photo paper. So one of the issues that I found is HP's photo paper is a bit sticky. The surface is treated with a material that readily accepts the ink, and you have to load more than one sheet in there to prevent it from sticking to the paper below through static electricity and other means. So you want to load this stuff in upside down, and like I said, that treated surface will stick to the paper below, and it will double feed on you. something you really don't want. So we want to load a couple of extra sheets in there. We're going to pull out the paper tray, the output tray. And it'll every time you open that paper tray, it asks you if you want to change the paper size, which we do not. Alright, I'm going to print directly from the computer in high quality mode, and we're going to see just how quick this thing really runs. But again, I want to show you one problem that I have with this unit that is a bit of an annoyance, especially if you're printing photographs professionally. If you are printing photographs professionally, you're looking at the wrong printer, but you knew that. I just print photographs to hang around my house. That's all I do. So we're going to go to File and Print, and we're just going to print this baby out. Now I have this laptop connected using AirPrint, which is something I've never used before until now. So we're going to do Photo on Glossy Paper Fine, which means fine quality, which is its highest setting in photo mode. And we're going to do the fill option. It doesn't really do borderless printing. It appears to not have that ability, which is unfortunate. Why don't I do 8x10 so I know what to cut off of the photo when I go to frame it? Because all my photo frames are 8x10. There we go. Paper type, US letter, or paper size is US letter. And you can always use photo paper on it if you choose to. Okay, let's have a go. Yeah, this is not a good quality photograph to begin with. Why don't I do fill? I'm going to give this picture to my dad. I think he might like that. So we're going to print this out, and it's set for two-sided, but it's only a single-sided sheet. And here I'm going to once again select Color Fine or Show Presets. I think there's a preset for it. Yeah, that's it. Color Fine. There we go. This is fine quality. It's going to use the most ink possible. Here we go. Now, how it handles paper is one of the problems when you're printing on glossy photo paper. You'll see what I mean, and you'll be like, what? But yeah, it's a bit of an annoyance. I had the same problem with my previous HP photo printer. But you'll see what I mean. Now, it's in quiet mode, so it's running slower than it is capable. It's not running at full speed. Quiet mode is also a way to save the engine from wear and tear. It runs it in a less strenuous cycle. You'll notice it's not doing it now, but this device also has the ability to read the surface of the paper, just like most HP desk jets had back in the late 90s, early 2000s. It actually has an optical sensor in an LED that can detect the kind of paper used or the surface type. It actually looks better than it did on screen. This will be the fourth photograph I've printed on this unit. And we're also going to take a look at the ink consumption. So after 4 photographs in a bunch of documents, let's see how it came out. Now that's actually really nice. But that's about as good as that. Get some better light here. That's about as good as it's going to get. Remember, the photograph wasn't high resolution to begin with. It was taken at low light conditions with an iPhone. So it looks okay. The printer is definitely capable of producing a better photo than this, but this is the one I was willing to waste ink on. It's a nice photo. I think my dad would love to have that on the wall in their house. So after 4 photographs, we're going to open up the system menu, which is you just drag down from here. Click on the ink button, and you can see our ink levels haven't really changed too much. If I click on any of the cartridges, it'll give me more information, the type of cartridge, and what is compatible. And I'm going to hit print. Oh, oops, stop. There's photo paper in there. I don't want to waste that. Photo paper is expensive. Of course, it doesn't really cancel. Oh, there it goes. It saved it. Let's take this out here. I only want to print this on plain paper. Photo paper costs a lot of money. So we're going to put that aside. There we go. Now we'll print that out. One of the things I've noticed about HP products is that they've improved their ink formula to be more resistant to moisture and to UV exposure. So if I touch this, it doesn't transfer ink to my thumb print. In my old HP, I think it was a 6000 series PhotoSmart, it actually, you would print out a photograph, and even if you let it sit for a couple hours, the ink would still transfer to your finger if you touched it. But which brings me to my next point. You actually can't really see it, but in a couple of the photographs that I've printed, you could actually see track marks. Yeah, you can kind of see it, but it's not really showing up on the camera. But you can actually see track marks sometimes on the surface of the page, and that is a direct result of the exit roller design, which uses these forked wheels which ride alongside these rubber rollers, and they're all the way across the page, and sometimes those wheels can scratch the ink. When I slowed the printer down a little bit, it reduced the amount of tracking that it was doing, because what was happening is the ink was still kind of moist as it was exiting the unit, and those track wheels were kind of scraping up the printed surface. So once I slowed the printer down a little bit, it hasn't really done it much, or as badly as it was. So let's take a look at our ink consumption. Now we've printed 4 photographs, 4 full glossy 8x10 photographs, 8x11. And we really haven't used a hell of a lot of ink. It's looking pretty good. The black is starting to go down just a tad, but we still have more than 300 pages left on all of these 3 colors and more than 500 on the black. Remember, we're still on starter cartridges, which means that I am a very happy printer owner at this point. This has so far been the most economical printer that I've owned in terms of color inkjets. I'm pretty happy with it. So there we go. So yeah, that's pretty much that. So we're going to take a look at some other features. We're going to do scan to email. We're going to scan an entire stack of documents directly into Preview on Mac OS and see how fast that goes. And we're going to do a complete walk around of this unit and really put it through its paces. So we're going to scan a copy of the Condominium Association bylaws for the complex I live in. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to load this into the scanner face up. Set the page width. There we go. It's a little bit more than I can handle. Let's reduce that a little bit. Document loaded. I can copy it, I can scan to USB, or send it as a fax. I'm going to actually scan it directly from the computer, that way I have better control over it. I'm going to plug my camera in since the battery is about ready to drop on me. So open up Preview. And then we're going to capture it from the import from OfficeJet. It knows there's a document physically present, and I have Use Document Feeder checked off. We're going to set this as US letter and scan. Hear the scanner kicking up. Let's see how fast it goes. Pretty quick, and it's already showing up here, separating it by page as it should. Not bad, not bad. Scanned, by the way, so far. 35 pages are now loaded in. Quality seems to be reasonable. Pretty reasonable anyway. Up to 37 now. Huh. Still going. But no, it cannot walk and chew gum. We're on our last page now. And let's see how long it takes to print that document. There it goes. Now it's printing our document. See that light right there? I mentioned that earlier. It's detecting the paper type automatically. Look at that. Not bad. Not bad for 130 bucks. I can't complain. I want to know how to set up the scan to email function. Let's see how difficult that is. So we're going to do scan to email. No email profile has been set up for scanning. Touch next to view setup options. You can use the HP software installed at a computer or use a web browser. Since I use a Mac as my primary machine, I do not have the HP software. So I need to do this from 192.168.0.7. That's the IP address of the printer. Well, isn't that handy? It's a complete interface to the device. Scan to email. Typical HP, the security certificate doesn't really work. Alright. Outgoing email. I can set default. Scan to email. Alright, so we've got the scan to email setup information thrown in there. So all the information that you really need to make this work with Comcast, for those of you who are Xfinity Comcast customers, SMTP server is smtp.comcast.net. Port number is 587. Use SSL. Maximum size of email isn't really unlimited. I have to look into what. I think it's 50 megs. So I'm going to have to change that. But server does require authentication. Throw in your Comcast information there. Let's go ahead and let's send something to my email account and see how it comes out. Alright, I'm going to do that right now. What am I going to send? I know. This. Alright, so I'm going to put this in the ADF, which will wake the printer up automatically. Come on. There you go. There's a little switch in there that it hits, and we're going to do scan to email to oh, this is a tiny ass keyboard. BBISHOP. Oops. PCM. This, by the way, is my email address for the YouTube channel only. At Gmail. The great thing about this is I can put in addresses that I can just pick from without having to type these in. Gmail.com. There we go. Done. Subject. Hello. Helco. Whatever. Let's see what it does. That's great. I hope this works. And come on, do something. Should be dramatic. Like I don't know. Set successfully. Alright. How'd it come out? Put up my email client. I'm going to point the camera away because there could be all kinds of sensitive things. I don't know. I see it. There it is. There it is. Look at that. It worked. Ha! Nice. Scan to email works on a very inexpensive product now. Amazing how much technology has improved since the old HP Jet sends of the early 2000s. Alright, well that's pretty nice. I like that. I can... So far this printer is well worth the $130 I paid for it, and I do not have buyer's remorse yet. Scan to email is a feature that I've been wanting for a while. Not to mention the ADF. Not to mention the higher capacity ink cartridges. Not to mention everything else. I mean, I'm just very happy with this model. I'm glad I bought it. I really am glad I bought this one. It takes up less space than my... Oops, I'm sorry, I'm making you guys sick. Don't make me do spinny chair again. But yeah, this works really well. I'm happy with it. This is going to make my life a lot easier. It's like an all-in-one document processing center for the home. And or small office. So yeah, I'm pretty happy with it. Print quality is pretty stellar in this thing. It's better than a lot of the printers I've had over the years. But you know, it's never going to shine like the Epson does in terms of photo printing. But that was a purpose-built photo printer. It actually had you know, photo gray ink as well as black and all three colors. So I have done the scan to USB function. It works pretty well. I have printed photos from the USB stick, and it's really intuitive. You just plug it in and hit print. Couldn't be easier than that. You also have some onboard photo editing capabilities. You can adjust the hue and saturation. I believe you can rotate images. You can change their size. These are all things that you would expect in a modern-day smart printer. So anyway, I'm going to wrap this up, and if you have any questions or you want to berate me in the comments box, go right ahead.